just finishing a tropical crush and about to start another. Well, I say about to start, I have technically started this. So, oh, yeah, just drop it and fizz it up, why don't you, Noble? Yeah, welcome back to another stream. I did technically open that earlier because I had it with me at work, but I had probably about 2 or 3 sips out of it as I made a hot drink at work instead in the studio. Welcome back to another stream. So today has been a very hectic day. And I've got some announcements. I've got like an update for you. Um, so, for those of you who may or may not know, if you've been following the recent streams, I got booked and asked to play at another Ultimate Bounce event taking place at the Light Nightclub tomorrow night in Scunthorpe. Well, there's a little bit of good and bad news. So the bad news is the event has sadly been cancelled. Well, it's been postponed. Apparently sort of postponed, cancelled, whatever you want to call it, something to do with mental health on the promoter's side. And basically, somebody who was in the group chat jumped in and decided to save the day, essentially. So the event is now still kind of going ahead, but it's going ahead under a different brand. It's kind of been taken over, and because the club was already booked, and there was like basically the night was available at the club rather than just sort of like having nothing there, and there were some DJs that were already sort of committed to traveling, and we're like, well, look, like if the club was still to open, we'd still come and play, kind of thing. So Bring the Sauce, which you might know on this channel, last not so long ago, we did a gig announcement as basically they're doing an event in Hull, which is actually taking place next weekend. So they've jumped in. They've decided Bring the Sauce is going to kind of host just a little miniature event, just so the club can stay open. And the offer's still there, and the lineup is pretty much the same as it was. There's a couple of changes. So there's like a guy called John Helps. He's now added to the lineup, and there's just a couple of DJs that are no longer going to come to the event. I think there was one person who was travelling sort of quite far up, quite far from up north. I don't think he's going to come now. And there was another person on the lineup who was having issues with his car, so he couldn't make it anyway. So the event has just kind of changed, just ever so slightly. The event is now going to start at 11 o'clock instead of starting at 10. And there's just, like I say, a couple of small little changes, but nothing that really makes too much of a change. I'm playing an hour later than I was originally going to play. I was originally going to play 11, and then basically I'm now going to play midnight instead, B2B with Gareth Davis. So originally I was 10 till 11 with Yorkie lad, and then the person who was on at 11, he was having issues with his car, Bad Boy B. So we all decided that we'd split the setup, and rather than me and Yorkie going B2B, he'd go 10, I'd go 11. Then the event was obviously cancelled, and then Bring the Sauce kind of sort of took it over, and a couple of people were like, I need to do early sets. So I said, look, I need to do early-ish. So I got moved to midnight with Gareth Davis, and then somebody who needed an early set because they had work. They took the 11 o'clock set, and obviously the 10 o'clock was no longer a set anymore. A couple of B2Bs have kind of come into motion, but the event is still, there's still something happening at the club, which, I can imagine, like, when it was like a day before the event was due to take place, there would have been like things put in place, where really, you couldn't, a bit sort of last minute to just not open the club, if that makes sense. So you kind of, in a way, would have had to have had something happening. Even if it was just like stick a resident DJ on or something. But more to the point, there was some people still sort of commit, would commit to traveling, and some more people who were like, and especially people who don't play out much, who, really like that opportunity of playing out, kind of didn't want to just kind of, announce, being posted and being so looking forward to playing, and then, it's a night in front of the telly. It's a little bit of a shame for them. So, it was kind of a good thing that sort of Anna Mac and Bring the Sauce sort of came in, and that was obviously a good thing. And I mean, obviously with Ultimate Bounce, I wish everybody, I wish Jamie, who is behind the brand, I wish him well on his I hope he's doing well soon, and hopefully the brand can return sort of and come back and do something, sort of bigger and better. Ideally, having to cancel an event is never a good thing. It's something that I don't think any promoter ever really sets out to do. When they want to put an event on, they don't ever sort of dream of having to say, unfortunately it's cancelled, or for whatever reason. But sometimes things that are out of people's hands, they happen. Things take place, and spanners can sometimes get thrown into the works unintentionally. Sometimes they do intentionally. It's just kind of how the game goes, unfortunately. But at least we're getting something on the Friday still, and there's a night happening. People are getting to play, and it gives people who might be out and about in Scunthorpe, a good chance to sort of play, and and come out and have a good night, and listen to some good music. So that will be really, really cool. That will be absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So I thought I'd come live and obviously let you know that is obviously the case. That's what's happening. And yeah, that is like literally where we're at. So tomorrow, I'm still going to Scunthorpe. I'm still playing a set. I'm still looking forward to it. And I'm actually going on the motorbike, believe it or not. So I'm a little bit nervous regarding going on the motorbike, and I'll tell you for why. So I'm on a 125, and obviously 125s they can't take motorways. Now, when you go from Hull to Scunthorpe, there's two ways you can go. One way goes on a motorway briefly. The other way goes on A roads, and the A roads is a really nice. It's a really nice ride. It's I actually really like going that way. However, when you go that way, there is, and I mean there is, the sharpest left turn known to man. And this left turn is like one of the sharpest left turns that I have ever been on in my whole entire life. I've gone round it in a car loads of times, and it really is like, when you talk about a bend, it's a sharp bend, like the bend just hits you out of nowhere, and it's sharper than you think. Like when you're coming up to it, it looks sharp, but you don't realise how sharp it is, and it can really catch you off guard. And just over a week and a half ago, I went out to my friend. I went out to visit a friend who lives in a village just outside Scunthorpe, and you turn off for her village off the main road. Probably about 2 or 3 minutes after that sharp bend. Um, and I really misled that sharp bend like massively, and I went so wide on the bend, and there was some cars coming. Luckily, they were quite far in the distance that I managed to sort of straighten myself up and get out of their way before they came into any sort of harm's way of hitting me. But like the turn can just catch you off guard really, really bad. So doing it at night when it's dark is going to be a whole different ball game. Now, luckily for me, I know where, like, and because I've already now done it once, I do sort of have a rough idea where the bend is. So I know, like, sort of in a way, I know kind of what to expect. And I know to kind of really just like when I know I'm sort of coming up to it, I know to really slow down and just take it even more steady than I would do during the day, just to ensure that I get round it safely. But because it's so sharp, it is a little bit of a worry. That you can just do it. You can just get it all wrong. And you can just come too wide, and if there's some guy who decides to take the roads like a clown coming the other way, he could just bam, he's just hit you like that, and off the bike you go. So obviously, you don't want that to happen. So it's just going to be a case of taking it really, really steady. So I'm going to set off in good time. So if I get there a little bit early, I'd rather get there a bit early than sort of be trying to rush to get there and then just having an accident. It's always. The thing for me is that I love bikes, I love speed, I love going a little bit fast sometimes. I love having a laugh on the bike, but I'm a big believer in safe, in being safe and knowing your limits, and and my granddad told me a saying years ago, and he still says it to this day, and he says you can't buy your health, and it's a really true saying. Like, you cannot buy your health, and for the sake of going just trying to get somewhere, like it's not worth risking your health. Set off a bit earlier, take it steady, and ensure that you get there safe, and come back and look back on it as I had a good time, a nice ride there, nice steady ride there, played a really good set, nice steady ride back, and then yeah, what can I say? But yeah, so there we go. So I was just replying to a message. But yeah, so I'm really, like I say, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow, and it's going to be a shed load of fun. So, um, before we do end the stream, I just want to announce and let you know that the first volume of Bounce Land is now out now. So it comes out on Friday the 4th, and it now is Friday the 4th. It's nearly 1 a.m. And I've got to go to work in the morning, so I just figured that if I uploaded the mix now, the two mixes, put them into a playlist, they'd be ready for the morning. Um, yeah, it's absolutely crazy. So yeah, so myself and DJ Nelly. So the concept of this mix series is it's supposed to kind of be a rip-off, like a parody of the Clubland CDs. So the artwork and all the artwork for it is supposed to look like the cover of a CD, and the track listing is supposed to look like the track listing, like one of these, like how this kind of looks on the back of a CD. And then there's two mixes. So my mix would represent the disc one, and then the guest mix, which is from DJ Nelly, represents kind of like disc two, if that makes sense. And then it just kind of plays like as if it would be like a CD, but essentially it's just two mixes online to listen to. But the whole kind of fun of it is like the artwork and just the whole kind of like promotion. You know, I do a. But yeah, so anyway, so that's out. It's on my SoundCloud, DJ Ash Noble, and yeah, go and check it out. Listen to both mixes. I'm not gonna lie to you. The mix I did, which I'm just gonna pull up now, but I'm obviously I'm not gonna play it for you. But the mix I did, for me, it was one of my favorite mixes that I recorded because for me, I just felt like I don't know. It sounded really good. The mixes were really on point. The tune selection was good, um, and you know, I just felt like it went really well, and the track selection. And then DJ Nelly also did a really good sort of like guest mix. So I'm really pleased. I'm really pleased. So go listen to both mixes, two different mixes, bringing a different vibe. And you know, let me know your thoughts. Make sure to like, comment, share. We'll see you soon.